Good morning. Good morning, my digital pathology trailblazers. Today I'm streaming for you from MUSE microscopy, but wanted to give you a little recap on what happened for me yesterday at Uscap.
Learn about the newest digital pathology trends in science and industry, meet the most interesting people in the niche, and gain insights relevant to your own projects. Here is where pathology meets computer science. You are listening to the Digital Pathology Podcast with your host, Dr. Aleksandra Zuraw.
Obviously, everybody has a different experience and did different things, but for me, and you're going to be seeing this on the Digital Pathology Place website, on YouTube, and everywhere. And first, let's start with what we did with MUSE, because I was promoting it and I was talking about it for a long time. Today, I was smart enough to make myself a copy from the hotel room yesterday. I didn't, and I suffered. So it was a big day for us, for the team, for me. I was the moderator of their panel about the slide-free imaging technology. I don't know. And I think you might see a device. I want to show you. Okay, there, this white thing that has a little screen at the front is MUSE's tissue imaging device. And the inventor and co-founder of the technology was Richard Levenson. Dr. Levenson was yesterday one of the panelists. He gave a presentation. Dr. Zuraw gave a presentation. It's all recorded. And we had a fantastic turnaround, over 120 people. And in the room there, and we had some people join online. So thank you so much for registering. You don't even know how much I appreciate it. I was honored to be able to just be the host of this event and obviously learn new data about the technology, about the concordance. And they're still working on more studies on achieving better concordance, working on some publications in the veterinary space. So you're going to be hearing about that. And obviously, if you're here, come to the booth, because not only can you learn about MUSE, you can also be a guest on my podcast. And yesterday I had Esther Abels, who was already a guest on the podcast a few times. So she's a regulatory expert, and expert is like not the correct word. She says, and you will hear it in the podcast. She says that she's a regulatory strategist, and shoot, I forgot like the right name. But what I was asking her, okay, at which stage should companies, digital pathology companies specifically, because she does a lot of regulatory stuff. But one of the things that I associate her with was the part of the Philips scanner clearance. So she was on that regulatory team, and she's also very active at the Digital Pathology Association. So anyway, Esther was here, and I asked her, how can you streamline the regulatory? It's never streamlined, and you always have to like collect a lot of documentation and do things like in a very specific way. But she said two things. First is the strategy. So when you know that you're gonna go that way, go that route, consult or bring in-house, get information about your regulatory strategy. Once you have the strategy, you work, and then there's going to be the documentation part. And obviously, this is just my high-level recap of what she told me yesterday. But if you want to share your digital pathology experience, it doesn't matter like where you are on the digital pathology train. And this is an analogy that I borrowed from Dr. Anil Parwani, whom I might have on the podcast here as well. I think Dr. Pantanowitz might join. I don't know. We'll see. They are all very, very busy people. So we'll see what happens. But Dr. Anil Parwani at Path Visions was saying, okay, digital pathology train, everybody is at the different stations, goes out, figures stuff out, gets in, and keeps going. And regardless where you are on your digital pathology journey station, you can come and tell me your experience. Guys, I failed with the posters again. So I was so happy yesterday working with my camera. And the posters are analog. They're going to be hanging there. No, they hang there for a specific slot. And obviously it's on me. And then they're gone. So MUSE poster was there and I wanted to record the video. And I kept missing the presenter, but the co-author of the podcast was Dr. Zuraw. So we we recorded the video, but I wanted to watch some more, look at the more posters, but they have specific slots and then new posters come up. So I need to have a dedicated poster time. I'm going to do it today. If you have a poster that you want me to see, and I met Meredith, Dr. Meredith Herman, she had a TikTok poster, and what? I missed the TikTok poster. So maybe there's going to be some proceedings, or she can maybe share. For sure, she's going to be sharing this poster on TikTok. So I should go on TikTok. So Meredith had a poster. I missed it. If you have a poster that you want me to see, I cannot promise it's going to happen because it already didn't happen yesterday. Drop in the chat your poster number if you're here. I would love to check it out. And if it's not related to digital pathology, the priority is going to be lower. But if it is related, I will try to go and visit it and maybe make a little video. If you're there, definitely, I would love to interview if that's something that you're up for, right? So yeah, MUSE panel, that's done. So if you were there, fantastic. And thank you so much. If not, I'm going to be sharing the recording whenever it's available. Our crew that was helping with the video and audio was fantastic. And I visited the booth, Techcyte booth. Techcyte is a software company, and they now have a software called Fusion that fuses all the products or applications that they had, AI applications, software applications for anatomic pathology, cytopathology / clinical pathologies, and microbiology, and I don't know what else, but basically it is a software that depending on like how the hospital is structured, multiple departments can use, is basically uniting the siloed departments of healthcare, at least the ones that are not image-based, but cell-based, I would say. Need cellular images. Yeah, because cytology, microbiology, all this needs the cellular imaging. So they have that. And they had socks in their booth. That was so cool. I don't know if I took the socks. I did make a video. I'm actually lagging on posting videos, but the podcast is there. Well, it's going to be out when it's going to be out. But I interviewed Dr. Tiffany, and I forgot her last name. Apologies for that. But Tiffany, if you're watching this ever, just say hi. And Ben Cahoon, the CEO, we sat together and we recorded today. I'm going to go there and check out, click the software and get the demo. That was that. And the panel. So what's going to be happening today? I'm going to have a few podcast guests here at the MUSE booth. We just we put up a light, which I don't have right now. So you see a light bouncing off my face from the video display that they have. They have a cool video display here showing the device, like how it works, the instrument. Anyway, so I'm going to be recording podcasts. I have one scheduled for 9:00. One, I don't know. I have a couple, but not the full day is booked. So if you want to share your story, you have a poster that I didn't visit and you want to tell the story, come here and find me. And if not today, then we can just make an appointment for tomorrow, because I'm going to be here tomorrow. It's Monday and Thursday. I think everybody goes home. And what I wanted to tell you about were also, because of the panel, there were audience questions. We had a lot of panelists, meaning I think 6 panelists, and I had questions prepared for them. But then, as it happens in those live events, we were off time. So I had to skip questions that I had prepared for the panelists. I let the audience ask questions. And if you had questions online, or if you have questions about this technology, you can reach out on LinkedIn and just send me a message. And we're going to be compiling all the online questions into a spreadsheet where the team is going to sit down, respond them, and send you the answer. So yeah, but what happened, I had to skip like half of the questions that I had for the panelists, give the voice to the audience and let them ask questions. So what we're going to be doing together, I'm asking those questions to the panelists who are still at the conference, and we're going to be recording a podcast. So all this is going to be available on video, audio, wherever you are interested in this content. And let me tell you what the questions were. So we had what implications it's going to have for the patient. So I'm just going to quickly tell you what this is about. It's glassless tissue imaging. So instead of, let's see if not everything is out yet because the exhibit hall is not ready yet. Anyway, so long story short, glassless pathology, you image the tissue from the surface instead of making glass slides. So everybody comes here and they have their work, pathologists, they come here, they have their workflow in mind and they look at it and I'm like, okay, where could it fit? And the one thing that we hear often at the booth is frozen sections. So they have a different use case at the moment, and they're in the process of making everything happen so that it can be deployable. And I'm speaking a little bit vaguely on purpose because I just have to. Anyway, so everybody comes and they have their workflow. It's slightly different. People come from different places, from Brazil, UK, yesterday, obviously from US because it's just Uscap or Uscap. And they see it and they are like, oh, it would fit here. It would fit there. It would fit when you take biopsies. It would fit if you do intraoperative. It would fit here, here, here. So my last question was actually to the audience, and it's also a question to you. Who, whenever you hear enough about this technology, what would you use it for in your pathology workflow? What would you add it to? Which workflow? What would you replace it with? What would you replace with it? Like, where do you see it fitting in the pathology of the future? Regardless when it's going to happen to you, as we heard in the train analogy, it has already happened for so many, like with different technologies, but for many more, it has not happened yet, or like there are fractions of this happening. And that was one question that I actually asked to the audience, but we had veterinary pathology experience with concordance in the panel. We had human pathology experience with concordance. So yeah, I'm going to be asking these questions in the booth. If you are here today, still at Uscap 2025, join the MUSE pathology team. We're going to be hanging out here in the booth, showing you the instruments, showing you how the process works. And if you have any questions, let me know also in this live stream. Another thing that I'm going to do will be working with Roche to check out their the scanner that they have here. We're going to hear more about this later today. And I'm going to post some social media posts from the past days before the conference. And I let you get ready, and I hope to meet you here. I've already met a few digital pathology trailblazers from the US and from abroad that are listening to the podcast. And I cannot express enough gratitude for you. It's fun. And we have a relationship, even though it may not be live, but that you are interested in this information, in digital pathology, just like even if you're just starting for education, or if you're doing AI in the live stream about AI and the papers, like the fact that there is people that want to learn about it means we are advancing this collectively. So I just want to thank you. Thank you so much for also being at this conference, paying the money, taking the time to come here and learn. And obviously not everything is digital pathology focused, but a lot is. And everybody who came to the booth and whom I seen yesterday is interested in that. So thank you so much, and get ready for the day. I am looking forward to seeing you and maybe interviewing you as a guest on the podcast or for a YouTube video. Have a fantastic day.